Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing amazingly well. I started sitting down to record this video and get interrupted constantly, so I hope that this take is going to be the one that sticks. Welcome to today's episode of Living in Alignment with a Twist. The last couple of episodes that we recorded were with guests. Today, the video will be featuring just more and a much shorter segment on the topic of today's conversation, given that it's December and we would all like to just be about life and getting in a mode for vacation. So I hope it still finds you with the impact that it is intended. And yeah, looking forward to sharing a little bit about a topic that really brings us back to the roots of this channel, which is centered around mindfulness and meditation. Before we get started, I thought I would share a couple of personal updates from my end. Over the last month or so, I've packed up my life as I know it. So it's been a change that has been coming for a while, and I'm glad that it's finally manifested in reality. And over this time, I've really just been traveling parts of South Africa with friends and family, really reconnecting intimately with those I love and am bonded to here. Having fun, really getting to know myself in a different way. And that's been beautiful. This is all in preparation for the next big adventure that I'm going on in the next month, when I will be venturing to Thailand to teach English for an extended period. So those of you who know me personally know that this is something that I've been talking about probably for the last 15 years or so. So I'm very proud of myself that I'm able to manifest this dream and live in that part of the world and experience the culture and community that really draws me in. So I am super excited to get going, but in the meanwhile, we'll be trying to live in presence. Which is interesting because given the magnitude of the shift that I've been going through, it has been really quite cool to be able to witness myself and the unfolding, my responsiveness and the way in which I'm handling this change. And that word, witnessing, is a great kind of summation for today's conversation. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about my experience having now practiced meditation consistently for 400 days. Let me say that again, 400 days. I know it shouldn't come as a shock given that I am a certified meditation teacher. But until now, it's actually been a real challenge to sit down and practice consistently. And in that consistency, I have found certain things come to light about the benefit of practicing meditation and how it impacts our lives in a unique and meaningful way. So I thought I would take some time today to share 3 of the top highlights for me in terms of what meditation has really emphasized to me over this period and how it might be able to benefit you as well, if you decide that this is a practice you would like to explore for yourself. So without any further ado, let's get started. So one of the key things that I have personally found about having a consistent meditation practice has been the sense that meditation gives us an understanding of the nature of impermanence and being comfortable with a sense of discomfort. We know that nothing lasts forever, and it's easier to say that than it is to experience and practice that in everyday life. But in reality, sitting in meditation every day, one would notice that the practice itself is unique every single time you sit on your pillow or on your chair, or however you choose to meditate. It's this very nature of impermanence that naturally mirrors life and helps us to understand that nothing in life will ever stay the same. In Vipassana, this term is called anicca, which means everything changes. And if we think about it and reflect on our own life, We know that everything from our jobs to our relationships to our appearance is constantly evolving and shifting. And so having that sense of detachment is helpful because it allows us to be able to see, experience, and witness life in a different way without being completely obsessive and consumed around it. The discomfort that naturally comes from impermanence is also really important because as human beings, we like consistency. We want things to stay the same and never to change if possible, especially the good things, right? We want the good things to last forever. But in reality, we would never have the experience of polarity, of good and bad, if things always stayed the same. We wouldn't even have that sense of deep appreciation for life if everything always were good. I think a lot of the time, what tends to happen is when I speak about meditation to people that I know and who don't actually practice themselves, some of them would maybe mention things to the effect of like, oh my God, I don't know how you can sit in silence for so long, or I would never be able to do that. And I think part of that is related to our own fear of being present with ourselves and seeing what is happening in our mind, being the observer of the thoughts, the patterns, the behaviors, and the beliefs. And that very fear is what keeps us limited from truly experiencing the unique potential that exists within us already. Meditation can be seen almost like an unclenching process in the sense that we are able to release our hold on what we believe is real and allow for and embrace the truth of what exists in this moment, which is right here and right now. And this is really what meditation and the practice of meditation is all about, is being able to be present with ourselves, to be fully here and now, not projecting into the future or living in the past, which is really associated with aspects like depression and anxiety. So being able to center ourselves in the here and now allows us to be able to experience the joy of life and learn to live with what we have. The second thing that I found really cool is that we can think of meditation as somewhat of a mental hygiene process. If we think about all of the input that we have in our head all of the time, whether it's social media, watching television, speaking to people, speaking to ourselves, reading books, whatever it is that we ingest in constantly, which is completely normal. Meditation is almost that way of bringing ourselves back to a moment of stillness where we quiet the mind and we allow ourselves to create the space for the true self to emerge. So meditation is not really about making ourselves any different. We don't become someone new or, unique or interesting because we are practicing meditation. What we're really doing is being able to bring the inside and reflect it on the outside to the world and to ourselves. So, like we brush our teeth every day, I found that having a consistent meditation practice, and by that I mean daily, is really much the same. It's kind of like brushing your teeth. You're never going to get the benefits if you brush your teeth once a year. And much the same in meditation, having that consistent practice of sitting daily creates a habit of putting oneself in the driver's seat of your life. It's not about control. It's not about doing things right. It's not about becoming a better version of yourself, but about understanding that we can meet life in presence by being consistent and practicing some sense of self-care every day. And this is it. If you do nothing else, then meditation is one of the ways in which you could massage the mind pretty much whenever you wanted to. And I think that's absolutely amazing. The last thing that I wanted to chat about today, and one of the top 3 highlights for me over these last 400 days, has been that meditation really emphasizes a deep level of self-compassion for oneself and a sense of limited reactivity to the stimuli in our environment. Let me explain that a little bit more. A few months ago, I had a really triggering conversation with someone and just became this crazed beast. Okay, I meditate, but I'm not a monk. Definitely not a saint, just in case you guys were wondering. So still human here, just FYI. And this conversation really triggered a part of me that was very deep, hidden, and unresolved. In the past, I believe that having had that conversation and that extensive explosion with this individual, I would have carried that experience in my body for much longer than I did. And I credit my practice for this. So it's not that I did not get triggered from the experience of having that conversation. It's not that I reacted in the best way that I could have, but life happens sometimes. It happens. What was different for me was the fact that after the conversation, I was able to really be able to sit with the discomfort of that experience, feel it in my body, and allow myself the space to be able to process that interaction in a way that was much healthier. In the past, perhaps, I would have suppressed this emotion or found ways of holding on to that, either by being angry about it or feeling the residue of resentment. But being able to sit with that discomfort and that pain really gave me the opportunity to see things about myself and my own behavior and patterns that were really supportive for me through the healing process. And I find that meditation is really the most non-judgmental and supportive way for us to be able to really create this environment of self-acceptance and compassion for ourselves. It's not forced. It's not something that is manufactured. It really is a very organic process that emerges through the act of just sitting with oneself and giving yourself the time and the space to be able to process the world around you or me in a unique and powerful way. Very subtle, but powerful. So if it weren't for that triggering conversation, perhaps I would never have known the extent at which the practice has really deepened in my life and kind of rippled out into the ways in which I support myself and the ways in which I meet the difficulties that I experience. And for that, I am hugely grateful, and definitely enough for me to settle onto my mat every day and practice without fail. So there are plenty of other examples of how meditation can transform your life in amazing ways, from the health benefits to other aspects of relationships with self and others. And one of the things that I wanted to bring us back to before we close today's conversation is really the fact that meditation does not always need to be a sitting practice. I think part of the reason why people do not want to commit to a regular practice is because we feel as though it has to look a certain way. And for me personally, I try to meditate between 30 and 45 minutes a day. A lot of people may not feel that they have the time to be able to do that. but it can be as little as 5 minutes a day to however long you'd like to extend it. Some days I actually just don't have the energy to sit for 30 minutes. My day is sometimes chaotic and busy, or my energy is being expended in different ways. But the act of sitting down on my cushion and breathing, even if it is just for 5 to 10 minutes, settles me into my body and helps me complete my day in a way that feels very full and balanced. And so I'd encourage you, if you are interested in starting a practice, to consider what it looks like for you to meditate. Meditation can be anything from walking mindfully out in nature to completing an art project in silence and stillness. It can look like washing the dishes, being present and feeling the water on your hands, feeling the temperature of the water, soap, and the sense of the soap on your skin. Anything that can be done mindfully can be a meditative practice. The question is, how willing are you to put in the time and effort and value in yourself enough to make the space for yourself in your life, no matter what that looks like? So in light of World Meditation Day, which takes place on the 21st of December, we really have the perfect opportunity to sit together. And I think it is local time 8 a.m., wherever you are in the world, to sit together and just bring some love and presence into the world. The power of community and practice combined can be hugely beneficial. And so I encourage you to take some time, even if it's just a few moments, to sit in silence when you can, sometime during the course of the day, or whenever you get to see this message. Yeah, I would like to say that this is a practice that I believe has really transformed the way that I meet myself and the way that I'm able to extend out my gift to the world by being able to be more of myself and appreciative of those around me in a different way. And with that, I would like to take a moment to wish you all a very beautiful and blessed festive season. May the year end off on a fabulous note and bring with it lots of prosperity and abundance for 2026, which is the year of the horse and a start of new beginnings and prosperous futures. Thank you so much for being here and for spending time with me once again. I wish to see you soon, and hopefully I'll be able to bring you guys another video before I leave. But if not, I'll catch you on the flip side. With that, everyone, take care, and I will see you soon. Bye.